werewolf, here wolf.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
This video and my channel are sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot is an online marketplace where you can buy and sell cool collectibles, including Magic the Gathering cards. But not just Magic the Gathering cards. You can see behind me, they've got everything from clothing to action figures and everything in between. I think it's a really cool website. You actually stream on it and sell things through your stream, which means that you get to interact with the sellers as they do things like open packs live, where you can buy singles directly from them, or you can get entire boxes of Magic cards if that's more your style. If you're looking to sign up for Whatnot, be sure to use the link in the description of the video. It'll get you $15 off your first purchase, and you'll be helping support my channel. Thank you again to Whatnot for sponsoring this video. Hello everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing Tovolar, Dire, Overlord. Tovolar is a werewolves and wolves commander, and he helps your wolves get bigger, get trample, and draw you cards. He also can forcibly transform any of your transformable wolves, so you get those extra good backsides by either making it nighttime or just using its transformability. Tovolar is a fairly aggressive deck. This is a 3-drop, 3/3 that wants to come out bright and early, and surrounded by other wolves, because if you have 3 or more of them, that's how you get that transformability. That's a great way to turn things like Crew and Outlaw, which is a fairly so-so card, a 3-mana 2/2 with first strike, into this 3-mana 3/3 with double strike that gives all your werewolves menace. It's a great example of a card that's maybe not so good on the front, but amazing on the back with Tovolar. And of course, this deck is running our favorite new wolf. Or werewolf, I should say. Roaming Throne is great in this deck because it can double Tovolar's card draw ability. It's also a 4/4 wolf, or werewolf, for 4 mana. It has Ward 2. That's actually better than a lot of wolves that are normally in this deck. This deck is also running some wolf synergy, because wolves on their own are a pretty good creature type. Things like the Night Pack Ambusher also especially play really well with the day-night mechanic, because they give you ways to cast things on your opponent's turn so you can get all your cards flipped over. We can also make things into nighttime using the Celestis. That's pretty fun. Because this is an aggressive deck, we are running cards like Domri, Cabaret Revels, and Rhythm of the Wild to help get our cards out faster and more cards out. And because this is a creature-based deck, cards like the Great Henge are just really great to have. We also are, yes, we're running the good 1-drops. We got our Lightning Bolts, we got our Ragavans, and I mentioned before you want to get Tovolar out early, so we have Halfling, Mystic, and Llanowar Elves, as well as a couple nice 1-drop actual wolves, which are pretty nice to get out early. So we're going to take Tovolar into the queue, and we're going to ow at our opponents. Isshin, 2 Heavens as 1. Gets you twice the triggers when things attack. Both of these hands have the problem of being just too slow. I think this one's a little bit better. It's got better mana, and because it's got a fetch land to start, I can actually begin by just looking for my surveil land. There it is, Commercial District, and then seeing what's on top of my deck. And if it's not something I can play on turn 1 or turn 2, throw it into the graveyard. These Commercial Districts with fetch lands, by the way, are just really great. I absolutely recommend putting them into more and more and more decks. I wonder if they'll do the same thing. Blooded Strand, yep, getting Elegant Parlor. These surveil lands are really nice. I think that in 2-color aggro decks, they're not too high risk, but you definitely don't want them in something that is going to completely prevent you from getting your cards working. All right, let's go ahead and name Werewolf here. We do have a mix of wolves and werewolves, and that's okay. I'm going to play Primal Adversary before I play Tovolar, because I have a feeling they're going to play Isshin next turn, and then venture twice into the dungeon. This dungeon specifically, either making a goblin or a treasure and scrying. Ooh, never mind, they're going for the Preacher of the Schism. What I was thinking was I want a 4/3, because this is a 3/4. And the same thing applies here. The Preacher of the Schism is a 2/4, so I'll be able to attack. Or I could just, you know, play Beast Whisperer, set up for a slightly longer game. Nah. Get at the woo and swing in for 4. Would you like to trade? Happy to take the trade. Play the Restless Ridgeline. It does come in tapped. A second to sip some tea. Schism is a very fun word. Ooh, a diamond pickaxe. Indestructible. Makes a treasure on attack. Makes 2 treasures on attack, right? Isshin doubles that. It's really nice. I'm not blocking this because it has First Strike and Death Touch. Oh, do I have to block? Can't attack. That's what it was. I was wondering what they targeted me with. I'm not used to people going through the dungeon of the Mad Maze with this. You deal 2 damage if you flippy, right? 2 damage to target opponent and creature they control. Yes, okay, cool. So we get a tiny Awoo. This gives us 3 Awoodles. And 3 Awoodles means that Tovolar will flip these over at the start of the next turn. If they're all alive. Which, I want them to be alive. Please and thank you. Alright, twice ventured into the dungeon, and twice treasures made. Yes, Mad Mage does have a good payoff at the end, and they go through this really, really quickly. Nice skeletons, bro. Nathnor out here saying, well, they won't flip. No, they will. Because at the beginning, even if they did cast, you're forgetting about the line. Transform any number of human werewolves you control. Whoa, okay, Teferi's protection. Jeez, okay. Great news, though. It is nighttime. We don't get to draw any cards because can't we deal any damage, but I now have 4 hexproof, very large wolves. People out here not reading my commander, saying, oh, he doesn't transform other wolves. Yes, it does. Bigawoo. I'm sad I didn't get to kill this, though. I tried. I'm actually kind of hoping that they cast 2 spells on this turn, because then it will flip these over and then immediately flip them again. Because it will become daytime, nighttime. Yep. They cast Mishra for free. It will, in fact, become daytime, and also this will flip over because somebody cast 2, and then nighttime. Oop, I think I ordered those wrong. That's fine. So now we're in the odd, like, back and front happening here. That's my bad. It's still got all the goods here. I got this Moon Mist. We can transform it again. I'm trying to decide if I want to just plunge in here. I do like a good plunge. But first, let's get some more wolves into play so they get the buff from the Hallowhenge Huntmaster. Oh right, it's nighttime. Never mind, you're just a werewolf. You're coming with me, girl! In we go! Using Moon Mist to kill the adventurer? Yep, or potentially Lelia. I can also save this if they don't block in a way that's too scary. So like right now I have 13, 19 damage going through. I can increase that by 2-4. Which is not quite lethal. I can also give something trample, which might be able to get me through. I'm just double checking my math here. So we got the 19 equals 1. For a bit of trample, because Tovolar can't give our wolves trample. Attacking math. Math is for blockers, and our creatures have hexproof. Oh, but wait, they're gonna gain some life? Is that enough? It is not enough. GG, Isshin, 2 heavens is 1. Unes, Cryo Sphinx Sovereign. This is the Sphinx commander for Sphinxes. I have a Llanowar Elves, but it doesn't come down until turn 2, which is kind of awkward. I do really like having Domri in hand as anti-counterspell tech, but I am going to throw this back to try and get something that's a little faster. Okay, that's a little faster. I'll take it. I get the Mayor of Averbrook out on turn 2 with this hand. And potentially a Lightning Bolt on turn 1. Very few Sphinxes, like Nightmare Sphinx and a few others, have 3 toughness or less, so I'm just gonna go Bolt the Face. The fact that they go first, though, means, yeah, they're probably just gonna have counter spells up. And then Unes comes out, and they get more counter spells and more Sphinxes, and it just kind of keeps going from there. Well, it looks like whatever they had was something that can only react to this instant. Might be a Spell Pierce or something like that. You got a problem with my roaming throne, huh? You got a problem with my roaming throne? It doubles my card draw of Tovolar. Please don't cast anything during my turn. Or during your turn. I would really like this to flip over. Dang it. Okay, well they played Palladium Mirror. Too bad, so sad. I guess we could go for Tovolar next. Time for Unes. Over the moon for the noon. Oh, Replicating Ring. That leaves them with 3 mana up. Roaming. Throning. You would dare? Werewolf. Awoo! That's 4 lands. Okay, Unes, you got the dirt. Werewolf, Chairwolf. Hello, madam. And goodbye.
That can't help you now.
I'll bot for 1. Vivian is in here as just a fairly flexible card. She can destroy flyers, artifacts, and enchantments. Not a werewolf, it's a chairwolf. Is this gonna flip and then flip again? There we go. It's just flippy. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, which makes me very worried. I don't know, I've been burned by so many. So many Cyclonic Rifts. Yeah. But I think it might be Hullbreaker Horror. What's it gonna be? We roaming and throning? I was almost on it. Of it being a large flash creature. Rhythm of the Wild is something I'm a little excited about. Hopefully this doesn't just get countered. We had the feeling before that they have a negate or similar in hand. Because of that lightning bolt on turn 1 holding priority. It could also just be like card filtering. We'll see. They leave up 1 mana of any color. Rhythm of the Wild is nice. These cards frighten me. But I've got Glorious Gale mana. Gale is glorious.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
A woos happen. Anybody here a human werewolf? Oh yeah, both of us. This one. Alright, so now we have Menace, Double Strike, and a bunch of other stuff. Let me try to land the Rhythm. Let me try to walk with Rhythm. I don't think it'll work. Swan Song's what they had! Well, thank you for the chicken nugget, I suppose. Swinging with all these. I might want to pump this up. Alright, wait, we got... This might be lethal. If they don't have a bounce spell here, we're golden. Because the Terror of Cruin Pass is going to deal 8. Overlord and the Roaming Throne each dealing 4. The game is closed out. They didn't have a bounce spell. And we win. Thanks to that handy-dandy Menace. GG, Unes. Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. She helps you ramp because she cascades when she's cast, usually getting you ramp spells. And then when you cast other big spells you ramped into, once they cost 6 or more, you get to cascade again. Oftentimes finding more big ramp spells. You know what's up. It's Emoti. You run into her all the time. She's a very popular commander. Masked Vandal, I think, is worth holding on to, just so we have some artifact and enchantment hate. Since their ramp can be creatures, it can be land-based, and it can be... Would you look at that? Artifacts and enchantments. What do I want to start with? I kind of want to start with an enchantment of my own, the Ranger class. This is my werewolf's pet wolf. His name is Wolf. Oracle. I have an ability to kill Oracle of Moldiah here, but it would be at the cost of my wolf. I think that's worth it. So I'm going to swing in for 3. They're gonna trade? Huh. It was surprising. We sell Vala. We got this Tovolar here. I'll draw a card. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'll kill Selvala. I really wasn't expecting that trade.
That's the sound of a stampede coming straight at ya.
We Shatter Skull tapped. I might go for Ulrich next turn for a big attack. Okay, they cast Erixmithes, which is a big land. It becomes a 12/12 eventually. Ooh, Minsk and Boo could be quite nice.
We won't answer to other kids.
In part, because with Minsk and Boo here, I could just yeet Boo at Emoti post-combat. And they know I could do it. This person is just like, no quarter, only dimes. Sure, I'll buff this up. I was just gonna kill you with it after, but save me a step. Tovolar and his Planeswalker buddies. Ah, Tyrannix Rex! This has haste, can't be countered, so they can take out Minsk and Boo. That's what I would do here. I also could have kept Tovolar in the graveyard to fuel the Masked Vandal here. Wouldn't have been terrible. Ulrich gets me the most damage. I like Halana and Elena though, especially with the buff here. Yeah, all right. I'm going to go. Bit of this, bit of you, some Awu. Halana and Elena gives a buff based on her power. Their power. There's two ladies in here. So we get 3+1/+1 counters on this Runebound Wolf. And it gets haste until end of turn. Do I have any tips for a beginning Magic player? Figure out what kind of deck you like to play and play a lot of it. Have fun. Somebody's taking an extra turn. Yeah, Domri's Gonry. We lose our buff on our creatures. The can't be countered is less relevant against Emoti because they typically only have a few counter spells because you never want to cascade into them. Sublime Epiphany, I think, is the most common counter spell I run into in Emoti decks. They're going wide here. Llanowar Loam Speaker and Emoti on the battlefield. Alright, Ulrich giving the buff to Halana and Elena, and then putting the buff onto Boo, and then attacking with all this stuff. That's okay. I got room to throw in a pack leader too, so I'll do that. We're giving the buff to pack leader or Ulrich here. Let's give it to the pack leader. If I attack with all of these, Lana and Elena die. They chump block here. They chump block there. 4 goes through. And Emoti and the Llanowar Loam Speaker die. Looking good. Why weren't they more aggressive with Tyrannix? If they didn't focus on those Planeswalkers, they still would have been dead. It sounds to me like you need to learn a lesson in not backseating, Mantis. Let our opponents play the game how they want to play. 2 turns plus Toxic? It takes 3 hits from Tyrannix Rex to kill me. I'm not saying our opponents always play their decks optimally, but I do think that if they didn't remove Boo, Minsk and Boo, they would have been in trouble. And if they didn't remove Domri, I think that was less of an issue. But the buff that it was compounding with Halana and Elena was a bit of a problem. Alright, so now they have bigger blockers. We don't have the buffins. I can't get rid of Mind Stone. We have 1 buff off the Ranger class. We do have a 10-9, but they have 2 12-12s. They have 2 there. Very, very close to just being able to kill them with Runebound Wolf. Peace Whisper. Make my puppy grow. So far, they have taken 2 extra turns. Modi decks. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Ugh. Monkey! This kills the Runebound Wolf. Sorry, it kills Ulrich. I mean, Ulrich is strong when he's flippy. He can fight. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3. Or not quite enough. But we could also get down Immerwolf or Throne. What we draw. This gives me most dog. The greatest amount of dog per dollar. Hi, Foreign Klex. Foreign Klex will double their mana and half mine by forcing my stuff to stay tapped. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6! A woo. And we win with the Rune-Bound Wolf. GG. Nicol Bolas, God, Pharaoh. It does crime, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't have any early werewolves here, but I do have Giuseppe, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to throw this back and see what we got. Nice. No longer have that counterspell protection, but I don't know how many counterspells they'll be running. Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh can be purely Grixis control. It can be crime, and it can be a mix of anything. There's definitely a lot of different Bolas decks out there. We'll see what this one's like. See if this one has a wash away. 1 blue mana, but the werewolf has resolved. Yeah, he only has 2 abilities. He has a +2 ability and a -4 ability. You just cross out these 2 lines. Oh wow, and it's nighttime? Nighttime. I'll attack with Tovolar. Got ourselves a halfling. I kind of want to go for ramp rather than the aggro plan here. Nah. Against Bolas, I think it's right to be aggressive. Be aggressive. So we've got Tovolar here. We do have another wolf and another werewolf, which means that this can transform at the start of turn, and that's a lot of damage coming in. Nicol Bolas has been stymied by our sweet start. The first Sliver. But is it the first Sliver, or is it the first and only Sliver? I love having that Cabaretti Rebels here, but I don't know if that Abrade will have anything to hit early on. So I'm going to mulligan. I really like having a turn 2 creature, potential turn 3. A Henge when our creatures get nice and big to draw us even more cards. Looks good to me. Duskwatch Recruiter. If they don't cast something next turn, this will flip over, which is really nice because it makes our creatures cost less. But they cast something into the north. I should also mention, the first Sliver is usually not a Sliver deck, but it could be a Sliver deck. There's always a chance that our opponent is actually playing Slivers. It's just a very small chance. More mana. Could be a Binding the Old Gods. Nope, Incubation Druid. It's important that they cast spells, though, because that way it stays daytime, and these do not transform. I'll attack in with both. I don't think they'll block. Draw 2 cards. Right now, they don't have all colors, by the way. They don't have red or blue, and this can only generate colors that your lands would otherwise produce. I'm trying to decide if I want to hold up Heroic Intervention. I think it's the right thing to do. Because things like that, I don't trust. Oh look, now they can generate more mana. I might not be able to counter it, but I can survive it. Looks like Nicol Bolas is back for a second helping of hurtin'. I'll keep this hand, because it has a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, which I love to have. Always good to have turn 1 Elf into turn 2 Tovolar. Even got another land here, that's great. Here comes Tovolar. Could die. Lots of good kill spells available in Grixis colors. People are commenting on the sunshiny Pinkie Pie next to the, like, warmongering Tovolar. Don't tempt me. Well, I've been tempted. I've been tempted very much. It's roaming throne time. I added a roaming throne emote on my Twitch channel. I think people are getting good mileage out of it. No, my one artifact! You monster! Quickly! A wolf! And then a werewolf! They've destroyed my roaming throne. Tragic. Werewolf? Oh, here, wolf. It's right there. Why do we keep asking where it is? Werewolf versus chairwolf. Aww. They killed the mayor. Now who's going to lead these people and jump out of windows? Nice to put a Cruxa into the graveyard. Great card. They do have the ability to escape it with one more card going to the grave. Pretty nice for them. Attacking in. Trying to draw land here. Well, take a halfling. It's the Ides of March Mayor edition. Hi, Chandra! Would you like to ramp or kill? R.I.P. Toblerone. I could play him again. I don't actually think I want to. It's very fun against things doing damage. It's like the setup. Beast Whisperer, so we'll have more cards to draw. I am behind on lands. We're done here. Killing Chandra means they can't escape Cruxa. Ooh, a key allows them to put a big strong spell into their hand from the spellbook. And then they have to discard a card. Discard a Firemind Vessel, which is just the worst key to the archive. I have a great answer to it, though. The Masked Vandal. It's a wolf, it's a werewolf, and it's going to exile the key to the archive. And I can only do it because they put things in my graveyard. Keep on drawing, keep on drawing. Big awoo. Let's beef up the Beast Whisperer. It might not be a wolf or werewolf, but it is something that I don't want to have a 3 toughness because it makes it very boltable. The mayor is going to win the election from hell. That's where he is. It's their fault I was able to get rid of that. I'm kind of hoping that whatever the spell was, it was one of the white spells, so they just can't cast it. Aw, my hobbit! This is the most damage, I think. Ooh. Do I want the puppy to have the boon? I do. I don't feel like I need to just go for crazy amounts of card draw here. I will beef up the Masked Vandal. Cycling their stinky water. Their fetid pools. Bring them to 1 life. Oh no, they would have been dead if I didn't use the Tenacious Puppy. Oops. I wasn't doing the math. But like, what else is new? Yeah, if I hadn't played the Tenacious Pup, then the Linear Elf would have attacked and it would have been lethal. Ugh, how lethal it should have been. We don't have any board wipes in this deck, so what did you get? You got a dog. GG, Nicol Bolas. Who will win in a battle between white weenies and werewolves? This is a nice hand because we have something with First Strike, just like them. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, is going to make non-creature spells cost 1 more, which, well, I have some non-creature spells, like this one, but mostly my deck is creatures. And that First Strike ability there is, you know, can be hard to deal with in combat. Thankfully, Rahilda is also a First Striker, and sometimes a Double Striker. Hi, Thalia. Oh, and Tenacious Pup. I wish I had this on turn 1, because this being a 3/3 would have been so sweet. I think they're considering Rahilda's abilities. Yes. Consider the woo. You're gonna cast a spell? Because if you don't cast any spells during my turn, Rahilda does get bigger, better, faster, stronger. Are there any mono blue decks I could recommend for Brawl? Well, Malcolm's really strong, but I wish he didn't exist, so kind of give or take on that one. They're debating, like, do I want to trade? Do I want to tap? They do definitely want to cast a spell. Ah, the Ranger Captain of Eos! That will get them a weenie! So far, by the way, all their creatures are humans, so I have a feeling that they have a human sub-theme to their deck. Nice, Mikaeus, a 1-drop that's not actually a 1-drop. I could play Tovolar here, Tenacious Pup. I'm going to go for Tovolar. The difference between this being double striking and first striking against Thalia is not really a thing. So I think that it's fine to play Tovolar this turn. And then my actual, like, goal is to catch them off guard with Nightpack Ambusher. This thing has flash, buffs up my wolves and werewolves, and also if I don't cast spells during my turn, I get a woo! Not really relevant, because I do mostly cast spells during my turn. Unless I have, like, Arlen out. So I'm gonna keep snacking. I have some nuts here. Aw, man! We've been humiliated! Go for the trade. I want to keep my wolf alive. A woo. Guardian of New Benalia. A mountain. Pass. Certainly nothing suspicious happening here. Just me trying to get a double striker. They do have a tap ability on tap. They also have a Mutavault, if they'd like to use it. Guardian of New Benalia does get to make itself indestructible and enlist. Who are you enlisting? Cool. Good scry. I'm going to take 5. For them, it's a Humavault, because it's human. The Mutavault in my deck is in a Wootavault. No blocks. Please and thank you. Time for Big Mikaeus? Or do you want to double cast spells to make it daytime? Ooh, no, it's the Sarah Paragon. That's going to let them recast permanents from their graveyard. Whenever they end up there. Like, if I attack in here, they might end up there. Ooh, hold up. I think I have a plan. plan that involves Emroi, Anarch of Bolas. Emroi is going to strengthen my creatures. Going to give me a fine fight against the Sarah Paragon, so they can't bring things back from the graveyard. We'll go to combat. I'll attack in with the 4/3 extra chunky Rahilda. What's up? No, I'm not attacking you with first strike. I will play this puppy post-combat. Unless I steal, like, a really good one-drop if they let me hit. Kind of fingers crossed that they do let me hit. Oh, okay. So they're just chunk blocking with their commander since they can replay her. Behold! A puppy! It will become daytime, but that's fine, because we have the world's sweetest little baby here. Look!
I will. I'm gonna give the next creature that gets cast +1/+1 counter trample and vigilance also.
It's so good! Also, hey, oh yeah, brother. Glad you got gifted a sub. What happened? Oh, no, my dog! You kicked my dog! Right when I was gonna go sip from my McDonald's cup. Imagine telling a doggy to get lost. Telling him, shoo! This is traumatic. I'm emotionally scarred by this. Domri dying loses me one of my mana sources, and that sweet pump on my creatures. This can still become indestructible. We're going hunting. Comes into play for the Awu ×2. Now I have a 7/7 that has trample and vigilance. And if it becomes nighttime, and it's pretty easy for us to force it into nighttime if Tovolar's in the battlefield. Y'all, we're getting dogs. Every time it attacks, you get 2 more 2/2 wolves. And you can have those wolves or werewolves fight things. They can just use the giant killer to tap it down, but still. Relevant. Ooh, Micaeus. That's a spell. I wonder if they're... I guess they're saving this for the tap. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh no. Awoo. It's a shame. We could have even pumped it up with Minsk and Boo. I'm going to start by cracking open a map on Rahilda. They can make this indestructible. Not bad, but I don't really want it. But indestructible does not beat first strike. They could always hit it with like a double block, but then I would get to kill, or a triple block, but then I'd get to kill Micaeus. So I don't think they want that. Oh, they're leaving. Cool. Right as we get raided! Hey, Spice! How you doing? Urabrask, the storm approaches. This Urabrask generates mana whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, and if you cast enough of them in a turn, he flips over and turns into the Great Work, which deals 3 damage to each of your creatures, and that's enough to kill pretty much every single wolf or werewolf we have. So we're going to try to survive as they go for the storm, and, maybe take us out. I had played Ragavan on turn 1, hoping to get a hit in, so I could get some green mana for our wolves and elves here, but they were able to take us out first. That's too bad. And I guess we'll just go for Tovolar here. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If they put spells into their graveyard, they have the potential to recast them off the 3rd chapter of the Great Work. Oh, nice Craig. Yeah, they want to make sure they have enough mana to, like, just cast a bunch of spells on the turn Urabrask comes out, so they can ideally flip them over. These don't have any burn. Yeah, that gives them 3 mana, maybe more to work with. That's awful scary, and I don't have any instant speed ways to deal with Urabrask. I guess I can just start by getting in a little more damage and trying to draw a card. I think it's more important for me to draw a card first, see if I get more green, because I am rewarded for not casting a spell during my turn. So, like, if I get a forest here, I think I actually would have just played it and waited for this Nightpack Ambusher, but that is not what I got. So instead, let's go for the Elvish Mystic. Get a little bit more of that good green stuff. Risk my life totals and play Sword of Fortune Frontier. They're a mono red deck, which means that the sword, very happily, will give me protection from their stuff. But I don't have enough mana to equip it this turn, so... Cool, we got the Sword of Mountain Dew and Doritos, but we can't drink it! We cannot do this dew. But imagine. Speaking of Doritos, I had a Doritos liquor at my friend Andrew's place, and it is the worst thing I think I've ever had in my entire life. The worst beverage. Not saying something. It was really bad. Our opponent agrees, because we were about to put that Sword of Mountain Dew and Doritos onto Tovolar, swing in, get some lands. Play him, have a good time, GG. Sauron, Imperious Bloodlord. He cheats vampires into play. And if you've been playing Pioneer recently, he specifically can cheat in the Vein Ripper. It's just a really good card. Speaking of good cards, I've got 2 different potential turn 1 really good cards that I can play. And I'm gonna go for the one you already know. You love him. He's the monkey. But first I just want to shock this in. And now... Ragavan. I love Ragavan. He can be a wolf if we want him to be a wolf. They're going to trade here, which is a good thing. Hello there, ma'am. 1 trade? Excellent, milady. They make a blood, and we play a puppy, the Ascendant Pack Leader. Do I think they have some 1 mana removal, a Fatal Push or something like that? Or do I want to go for Tovolar and some card draw? It's like I can get more value if I do Cabaret Revels. But I think it'll be better for me to use Tovolar. I think they're trying to debate what to drop to try to get a 3rd land. They dropped Liliana. Yeah, that's a good card. Bringing out the Toblerone and swinging for 2. First Blood. Actually, First Blood was me fetching into a shock land to deal 3 damage to myself. Call it a power play. Hi, Sauron. You here to cheat a vampire into play? Which one is it? It's... Kalita's Trader of Get. Get out of here. They're able to sacrifice and deal 3 damage. I don't have a good answer to that, so I'm just gonna go for the double puppy. And I don't want to attack into Kalitas. They're missing mana, but like Sauron is quite good in that kind of situation. Blood Artist. Nice. You gonna give him a +1/+1 counter? Makes him a little bit better at blocking. No, they're gonna sacrifice him to kill Tovolar. What, you don't want my Uvenwall captive to transform? It's actually kind of cool if it transforms. I don't actually know if Tovolar transforms it. Wait, let me double check the wording. No, because it's not a human werewolf, it's an Eldrazi/werewolf horror. that works. Tovolar again. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for Rebels and Emroi. Wouldn't have been bad. I just really want Tovolar to flip over. Cletus can also grow by sacrificing these zombies he gets from our creatures dying. These are not vampires, so they can't be sacrificed to Sauron. Cletus getting Death Touch and a +1/+1 counter. He already had lifelink, so he does not get it. Still on 3 lands. Ooh, Black Sun Twilight. Killing the Ascended Pack Leader. Gets exiled, and they get another zombie. It's my turn. We get to transform. Have-ready Rebels. I'm a wolf. I'm a wolf. You're a wolf. Everyone's a wolf. It's a good buff right there. Good puppy. I think both of us are swinging at... I only draw cards if it's at face. Face, because I actually really want them to block with Cletus so I can kill Cletus. Hello, Cletus. Would you like to block? Okay, yes, they are blocking. All right, yes, please kill Cletus. Oh, thank goodness. We draw a card off Tovolar. They get another zombie. But I feel a little bit safer now. We also have this Rebels, so, like, we'll keep getting value if we recast Tovolar. What is this? Emroi, they didn't try to transform anything. Emroi, stop. Ooh, Queen's Bay Paladin! They're gonna bring back Cletus! Stop flashing at me! Emroi, chill! Emroi, please chill. Emroi, calm down. He wants attention? I pet the dog! How many times do I have to pet the dog? Still on 3 mana. Speaking of mana, I do not want more mana. Stop, Emroi. Every single time a state is checked is when this is flashing. Huh. I do actually have 1 creature in the graveyard.
Pay attention to me, Mom!
Oh my god, stop! Please stop. Intimidate means it can't be blocked. So it's worth a swing. Please stop. Please, Mr. Emroi. Got a Weaver. Have-ready Rebels gonna spit out more cheap creatures. Ooh, nice. A land. We flip over. Oh no, we didn't, because I didn't cast those. They just came into play. This is the only thing that would be hit by Thoughtseize, so I'm going to cast it. It will transform the messenger. And now these guys can't deal damage. Also, they lost 2 life because of Thoughtseize. We seize their thinks! Why didn't you transform? Why didn't you transform? Oh, right. Emroi. Wait. No, but you are a human. Is this not? No, it says human. Human werewolf. Oh, it's because of the daybound, nightbound. So it probably transformed and then state-based flipped it right back. Okay, we got a bit of haste. I have a bit of trample here. First strike might help. I'm gonna play this. How would it flip back with Emroi? I'm not sure. And at the start of our turn, Tovolar was already on the backside, so it didn't transform them. That makes sense to me. I'm gonna swing in with Rahilda, Emroi, and Tovolar. Is it just one of those moon mist does not really apply to the daybound, nightbound ones? Weird. Yeah, I think it's because it's daybound. It doesn't change it to night. I'm just, like, trying to take advantage of their lack of mana. They're doing plenty, all things considered. Oh my gosh, you're hitting all the little guys. X equals 2. Actually, let's go X equals 3. Since we got plenty of mana for it. Trample will be relevant. And how much more mana do I have? 2? So that'd be enough for X equals 0. Oh, I had one more. Doesn't make that much of a difference. We draw the same number of cards. We get damage through. Oh, Liliana, Death's Majesty. Whee! Tovolar dies. They get a fresh zomb from Kalidas. But we also get to draw some extra cards. Nice. Pass the turn. A third land! Congratulations! And directly into a Necropotence. Well, that's game. Sorry about your whole mana thing, Sauron. I think you did a good job, all things considered. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked this episode of Brawl Stars and seeing Tovolar in action once again. This was actually a requested updated deck build, so if you were the person who requested Tovolar, I hope you like seeing him. A woo, just for you and for everybody else. Something kind of fun about this video is that out of 11 games played, I won 10 of them. Werewolves sometimes just work, and if they get a good start, they really do have a lot of tempo going on. Between well-statted creatures and card draw and trample from Tovolar, a lot of these good backsides and transforms, werewolves can do a lot of work for you. They're not highly competitive, but based on how they match in Arena, they're definitely not bad. I also will say, if you're looking for the deck list, it is in the description of the video, so you too can woo. If you would like to suggest a deck for me to brew or update, please let me know in the comments below. I will try to get to those when I have a chance. I definitely won't be able to brew all of them, but I'll certainly do my best to get through as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.